Most men chase attention. They chase validation. They chase her approval, thinking that affection is the same thing as power. But Niccolo Machiavelli once said, "It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both." He wasn't speaking about violence. He was speaking about influence. The kind of influence that doesn't come from words, but from what your silence makes her feel. This video isn't for the man who wants quick tricks or cheap games. It's for the man who understands strategy. Because real seduction isn't about compliments or pickup lines. It's about emotional control, the ability to make her feel deeply without knowing why. There are 10 questions that do this. 10 questions that create confusion, curiosity, and desire, all at once. They don't flatter. They don't chase. They pierce. Each one goes straight through her emotional armor, leaving her wondering why she can't stop thinking about you. Let's begin. Question 1. What does a man do that makes you feel in danger, but makes you want him even more? This isn't small talk. This is a doorway to her inner storm. When you ask this calmly, she won't just think. She'll feel. She'll remember the men who shook her balance, the ones she shouldn't have wanted, but did. You're not asking for preference. You're asking for the emotional edge that excites her deepest instincts. Most men try to be safe, predictable, easy to read. You make her question her control. Your calm tone tells her, without words, "You're not safe with me emotionally, but you'll be seen." When she answers, don't interrupt. Watch her eyes. Because what she describes isn't just fantasy, it's her blueprint. That's the energy that wakes her desire. But remember, the Machiavellian man doesn't fake danger. He embodies controlled unpredictability. He's the storm with discipline. Machiavelli wrote, "The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. One must therefore be a fox to recognize traps and a lion to frighten wolves." Be both. Question 2. What's your most hidden weakness? The one only someone truly special could ever find. This one is a whisper, not a weapon. You're not asking for gossip or secrets. You're saying, "I want to see the part of you no one else dares to look at." When a woman hears that, her walls tremble, because you're not trying to impress her. You're making her feel understood. If she hesitates, don't rush. Let the silence breathe. Then say softly, "You don't have to tell me. I can already imagine it." That single line does more than any compliment ever could. It creates intimacy without exposure. She feels seen, not judged. And that's where obsession begins. Not with passion, but with permission. You become the man she can't forget because you saw her shadow and didn't flinch. Question 3. What's the most dangerous thing someone ever awakened in you? Every woman has a memory she can't fully explain. A time someone touched a part of her she didn't know existed. You're not asking for a story. You're inviting her to relive that energy. The mind doesn't separate memory from experience. So when she describes that fire, that danger, that pull, her body feels it again. And who is she looking at while it happens? You. Stay calm. Don't smile too much. When she says, "I probably shouldn't tell you," you reply, "Sometimes danger is beautiful too." Now she's not thinking about the past. She's wondering if you might awaken it again. This is how emotional imprinting begins, through memory, mystery, and mastery of silence. Question 4. What's the craziest thing you'd do if no one ever found out it was you? On the surface, it's playful. Underneath, it's a test of freedom. You're telling her, "You can be real with me. You don't have to hide your darkness." Every human being has two sides, the persona we show and the chaos we bury. When she starts to imagine her forbidden self, she feels alive again. And the moment she does, She unconsciously ties that thrill to you. If she hesitates, that's perfect. You smile and say, "You don't have to tell me." Just thinking about it means we already share it. Now you've created a secret world between you, a shared tension that exists only in imagination. And that's where real obsession lives, because physical attraction fades, but psychological curiosity doesn't. Question 5. What kind of man is hard for you to forget, even if he wasn't good for you? This question doesn't look backward. It digs downward. You're asking her to recall chaos, the kind that burns, confuses, and tempts all at once. Every woman has met a man who broke logic but ignited feeling. You're leading her back to that emotion. But unlike the others, you're calm. You're steady. You don't judge. That contrast, your composure beside her emotional memory, creates safety in the storm. Don't react with jealousy. Don't fix it. Just listen and say, "That says a lot about you. I like what you're showing me." She'll feel relief, surprise, and curiosity because you saw her truth and didn't try to change it. That's the moment she starts associating that same intensity with you. Machiavelli said, "Men should be either treated generously or destroyed because they take revenge for slight injuries. For heavy ones, they cannot." In this context, remember, never compete with ghosts of her past. Replace them. Question 6. Has anyone ever attracted you and you didn't know why? This one plants a seed. You're not asking about her type. You're asking about her chemistry. When she starts thinking about a time she felt drawn to someone without reason, you've already triggered the emotional confusion you want her to feel now. And when she's thinking about that pull, you become the face tied to it. If she admits it's happened, say quietly, "Sometimes the things we can't explain are the most real." Then stop talking. Let silence expand. Her brain will fill that silence with feeling. Her heart will try to name it. And that's when she starts wondering, "Am I feeling that right now with him?" That's psychological gravity. You didn't force it, you created it. Question 7. What signs does your body show when someone attracts you, but you don't want it to show? Now you're playing on awareness, the most powerful weapon in subtle seduction. You're not asking if she likes you. You're asking how her body betrays her when she does. And as she describes those signs, her eyes, her breathing, her nervous laughter, her body starts doing them unconsciously. Watch. Wait. Then say calmly, "You just did that now." Silence. Eye contact. No smile. No teasing. That moment hits her nervous system like lightning. She feels seen. Not as an object, but as a signal you've decoded. Now, every time she does those things around you, she'll wonder if you've noticed again. That loop is obsession. Remember Machiavelli's principle. The promise given was a necessity of the past. The word broken is a necessity of the present. In this case, never break the mystery. Don't overplay your hand. Let her curiosity feed itself. Question 8. How do you act when you start falling for someone but don't want to admit it? This question forces reflection. It's not about others. It's about her behavior. The moment she answers, she's revealing how she reacts when she's emotionally exposed. And if any part of her already feels drawn to you, you've just made her confess it indirectly. If she says, "I act distant," or "I pretend I don't care," you smile slightly and say, "So, if you pull away, that means I'm getting to you." Now she's trapped between denial and truth. Even if she laughs it off, the seed is planted. The next time she feels herself pulling away, she'll remember your words, and her mind will replay that moment with you. That's how emotional conditioning works. Not through logic, but association. Question 9. What left the biggest mark on you from a man, even if he's no longer in your life? This question carries emotional gravity. You're not asking about heartbreak. You're asking about impact. What moment, what gesture, what energy changed her? Because what she describes reveals her emotional language, how she bonds, what moves her, what stays. When she speaks, don't analyze, don't judge, just listen. Her brain won't separate the old memory from your presence. She'll start associating you with that feeling of depth. You become the new container for an old emotion. That's psychological alchemy, turning her past fire into present fascination. She won't know why she feels drawn to you, but she will. Question 10. If someone could understand you without you saying a word, what place would they have in your life? This is the final door. You're not asking for a title, you're asking her to imagine a presence. Someone who gets her without effort, who sees her without her needing to explain. That idea hits deeper than attraction. It taps into a universal craving to be understood without words. If you've built calm, grounded energy, her subconscious will picture you in that role. If she says, "Someone like that is rare," you answer quietly, "Maybe," but rare doesn't mean impossible. Then silence again. Because silence, when used correctly, is more seductive than speech. As Machiavelli wrote, "The wise man does at once what the fool does finally." You don't rush the moment. You let her feel it. Because in that silence, imagination takes over. And imagination is where obsession is born. These 10 questions are not for boys chasing validation. They are for men who understand the art of psychological gravity. Seduction isn't about controlling a woman. It's about mastering your own energy so deeply that she feels it without you trying. The Machiavellian man doesn't need to speak loudly. He asks the right questions and listens in silence. Because in the end, power isn't about what you say. It's about what you can make others reveal. And once you learn to use emotion, curiosity, and silence as weapons, you'll never have to chase again. You'll simply stand still and she'll keep wondering who you are and why she can't forget you.